Oh.
So now you're recording.
All
See,
right.
now it says record. It's in red.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see that?
Daddy
Daddy's gonna be the boss.
Yeah.
Mom, no.
Okay,
See that?
Sharmpat.
Do you know how to zoom in and zoom out?
Okay. Kiki ji मैं लगी कान.
Don't do too much.
Oh yeah, ये तो बहुत नेड़े आ गई तू.
This is Mom learning how to do the camcorder, by the way. Because she did it all wrong at the... When we drive down Wigbourne Road, I know my kids feel just as kind of excited and as happy as I do. That feeling of, oh, I'm home. No feeling like it. My name's Jasbinder and I grew up in the shop from the age of 5. Growing up in a shop, there's nothing like it. So now my kids love coming here as well. So I'm Jasbinder. My younger sister is Jaska. My mum and dad are both called Jasbir, so we're all kind of known as Jazz. My older sister is Pardeep and my brother is Sukhjinder. So we come from a very traditional Punjabi background, you know, very traditional Punjabi family, very close, big extended family.
Hi, Papa. Hi, Papa.
How are you?
So this is my dad and he is a character.
Okay, good. Hi, Binta.
Hi, Dad.
You alright? How are you? Are you good?
He's brilliant. I mean, if you meet my dad, you can't not smile. So this is my mom. She's such a special person, a special woman who has sacrificed so much. Mum and Dad's generation of immigrants, I think they came here willing to work hard, willing to make lots of sacrifices and willing to make a better life for themselves and for their families. Mum and Dad met 1978, so when Mum arrived at the airport, literally there were two strangers meeting in the airport. They'd obviously been shown photographs of each other. Mum's is a beautiful black and white picture of her when she's young, like taken in a studio in India. My dad is wearing a turban in his. So when my mum arrives off the plane and, you know, she's walking out the walkway, she sees this young man waving at her. It wasn't until my mum's aunt came that she trusted to go and think, okay, right, that's the right person. But yeah, and I mean, it must have been hard for her. She was, 20 years old, left all her family, left everything she knows on the other side of the world and come to this strange country where she doesn't speak the language. She doesn't know this person that she's really marrying. My aunts all have the same story, you know, there's countless women that have the same immigration story of leaving everything and taking a chance. And my mum's thing was she wanted a better life, you know, she wanted more than what she would get in India as a woman. You know, you go to India now and it is such a different world and we are so privileged and so lucky. And I think that was one of the big push factors for my mum to want to come, you know, marry a stranger and live in a, you know, new country. So we moved here in 1987. I have really warm feelings when I think about my childhood because I loved it. I loved being in the shop. I'd be posting papers at the age of 9, 10 years old, you know, do my paper rounds every morning, every afternoon. Never any sense of danger or like, you know, oh, you can't do that from a young age because everyone knew us and they all knew us as Jazz's kids from the shop. So my brother was born in 1991, so we'd had the shop for a few years at that point. My dad did a massive party, got it all on videotape, and it was just this sense of like euphoria. My mum's never been happier, you know, like, you know, at last she had like, you know, a little boy, you know, after having 3 daughters. The emphasis on the patriarchy and, you know, the male heir, if you like, it's such a major thing in our culture. Our summer holidays, I would be in the shop. You know, my mum was busy looking after my brother who was a baby, and, you know, my older sister was always the one that kind of helped mum in the house and I did the shop. My sister struggled a bit more because she was older. And it's the thing of being different at that age is tough.
You know, we grew up in a traditional Punjabi family where we probably smelt of curry every day, which we did because we ate curry every day. And if you've ever been around Torka or when, you know, your mum's cooking, it will stay on your clothes for like weeks. So I think she kind of suffered more from things like bullying at school. But yeah, I think for us younger siblings, it was brilliant. You know, we were the people that owned the shop. We had free access to sweets and chocolate and stickers, which our friends loved. Growing up, my kind of biggest image of my mum is standing by the sink and then running to the shop every time the bell would go. And as she's got older, she doesn't run so much, but that kind of long walk down is so ingrained in my memory. It's a real kind of like image that I hold really close to my heart, because that's her life. That's been her life for the last 35 years, making that journey from the sink to the shop. Yeah.
Oh, hello. All right.
I mean, she doesn't like being photographed, and she's not very like a show-offy person at all. So she's a very proud, kind of dominant woman who will stand there with her arms crossed and be proud of what she's built. She's a hard-working woman, and she's brought us up to be independent, strong-willed women as well, you know, in a society where sometimes that was frowned upon for girls to speak up and speak out. So my dad started off driving taxis around Handsworth. His proudest moment was really when he bought his black cab. You know, he'd always park it outside the shop, and you know, the customers knew his life was driving. Like my mum was at home in the shop and my dad was here, there and everywhere driving. You know, he started driving the buses for West Midlands Travel, which again was a really proud moment for him, because being a bus driver and knowing the bus route, they go past the shop every day. So it was again like one of those proud things where, you know, he loved doing that. And then sadly he was attacked, where he was then blinded. So he was kind of no longer able to drive for a living, which was a really, really tough time actually, because that was hard for him and hard for us all really to see him deteriorate like that. It just meant now, because he wasn't driving for a living, it was all about, you know, helping with the shop and helping my mum run the shop.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Dad, बाहर खड़ा हो जा, मम्मी ना पे मैं पेपर काट दूंगी.
Okay.
He's so hardworking and so loyal, you know, to us and to the shop and to my mom. He's a really inspirational person. I'm going to get emotional talking about him, but he's been through a lot. Like my mom. Oh God, I can't get emotional. My mum and dad have owned the shop for 35 years. They're more than just corner shop owners. And they've done this whole thing together, day in, day out, without us now for a good, you know, for a long time. We've all got married and left because we've all moved away now, and you know, we're all married and got our own kids and stuff. We all kind of just descend on mum and dad's every Sunday and just all kind of join together and just, yeah, madness. So yeah, shut the shop early and just kind of sit in the kitchen and chat and eat. I don't know what the future holds with the shop, but I really hope that, you know, future generations continues to appreciate what we built here and what my parents built here, because it was more than just a business. It is more than just a business. I love looking at old photos of the shop to see and show my kids, like, look, this is how it used to look. Even the house has changed so much. But there's certain things that are still so similar and stayed the same. Those generational things that are still consistent with shop life.
Cheese.
I think the important thing to remember is that mum and dad's story is just one story. This is just one of many stories, and there are so many of these businesses and kind of community hubs in the background. You don't really know how much they actually do and provide, but we should, and there should be that level of appreciation. And they are local unsung heroes. I
think it's a really good opportunity just to say thank you to all those kind of small businesses in our local communities and appreciate, because they might not be there for long.